Welcome back class 10th students in our chemistry class, and as all you know that today we have to start our analytical chemistry. So analytical chemistry, I will just give you the introduction and all the basic concept, and it's very little one. So rest part that you have to do by yourself, because rest part includes the cramming of the specific color of the specific ions. Now we have analysis. So analysis means knowing or identifying an unknown substance. So determination of the unknown, we will get on unknown substance, and we have to determine, we have to find of which components it is made up of. So determination, that is the analysis. Now analysis is basically of two types. One is qualitative analysis and the other is quantitative analysis. Qualitative analysis, as the name suggests, we have to find out the components of which it is made up of, which ion is present. Basically at our level we have to find out the ions, of which metallic ions it is composed of. And quantitative analysis, when we get that a particular unknown substance is made up of which elements or which constituents, then we go to know the amount in which it is present. That is, we go for quantity. So that is quantitative analysis. If you remember, we find out percentage composition of any compound. So finding the percentage composition, what we do in percentage composition, we find different percentages of different elements in a compound. So that finding percentage composition is quantitative analysis. So that is done through paperwork and numerical and all the formulas we use. Now our part is qualitative analysis. So how qualitative analysis is done? For that we use reagents. Means what we do, we test them by certain reagents and we get results. So on the basis of that result, we identify by pre-knowing that if we get this thing, if we get this color, then this can be this. So by pre-knowing, we identify the particular unknown substance or the unknown constituent present in that unknown substance. So that is qualitative analysis. So for that we use reagent. So what is a reagent? A reagent is simply a substance, a chemical substance through which we test, we get some specific result, desired results. So here in our syllabus, the reagents we are going to use is that sodium hydroxide NaOH and ammonium hydroxide. So what we are taking, basically we are taking alkali. Now if you see, one is ammonium hydroxide and one is sodium hydroxide, NaOH. So if you see, NaOH is a strong alkali and ammonium hydroxide is a weak alkali. So but both gives what they give? They both give OH minus ions. Now NaOH completely dissociates into its OH minus ion, and ammonium hydroxide partially dissociates into OH minus ion. So what is the use of this OH minus ion? These hydroxide ions, when they are added or when alkali is reacted with salt solutions or soluble salt solution, so we get an insoluble material, an insoluble substance that is known as precipitate. So this OH minus we get in the form of precipitate, in the form of hydroxides basically. So there are two methods for doing it. One is we separately we use NaOH, we have certain tests, and separately we use NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide. So first we say that we have you drop by drop. So we see the transition, we see the gradual change in the color, and then we add it in excess. So adding it excess, we go for the conformity test. That's yes, what the color we are getting, if it is of certain metallic ion, so it is confirmed that the compound consists of that particular metallic ion. So this is the basic method, and for that what is our what is expected from our side, that is from the student side, from your side, that you need to know the color of the ions, which are colorless ions, which are colored ions. So ions, when we say, the cations and anions, which are colorless cations and which are colorless cations, which are colored anions, which are colorless anions, and so on. So that you have to cram, and it is generally said that the representative element, the first group, second group, then 13 to 17, they are basically colorless. They have colorless ions. And then this from 3 onwards, we have 3 to 12 group metallic ions, they are colored. So the reason you will study in 11th class why it is so, the variable valency we have in D block elements. So that you have to cram, that Fe plus 2 is of which color, Fe plus 3 is of which color. So basically we have calcium, Fe2, Fe3, then lead, then copper, and we have copper, lead, like that, and then we need to cram it very hard. And then we have the reaction, we have the reagents, we get certain, we get a salt, we have to observe whether it is colorless, whether then we add the reagent, we get the observation. So on the basis of observation and by pre-knowing, we certain it that yes, this may be this ion, and then by adding in excess we confirm the test. So dear students, so this is to be studied in 3 parts, with the help of certain salt solution, with the help of reagent NaOH, certain salt solution with the help of reagent NH4OH, and then the third part is that metals, on action of metals on certain reagents. So by that also you identify that yes, this is a certain metallic ion. So now this was the only explanatory part. Now it's your turn, it's your job to, you have 2 or 3 tables given there. I will just go in brief. Now you have to cram it and you will understand by yourself. That is your part. Okay, let's see. So now it's given in a book, you can see. I'm just brushing it up. We have colorless ions and we have colored ions. So if we talk about cations, so the list is given. So this was the list, what I was telling about you, that you have to cram it. You need to cram it. Ammonium ion, they are colorless, and sodium, potassium, calcium, and so on. And then we have anions like chloride, sulfate, carbonate, nitrate, hydrogen. So this cramming is to be done by you, dear friends. It is very important. So the colorless ions, whatever is given in a book, and then we have colored ions. So ferrous, dirt, we have green color. Ferric, we have somewhere it is written yellowish brown, somewhere it is written reddish brown. So we have all these, you need to cram it. It's very important that we have Ca plus 2. So when you will cram it, so you can identify that we are getting this precipitate. So on the basis of this, you can say that yes, this can be this ion. If you are getting suppose green precipitate, so immediately it will come to your mind that if it is green, so it can be ferrous, Fe plus 2. Now in white we have calcium, lead, zinc. So there is a differentiation between them. Some we get gelatinous white, we get simple white, we get chalky white, and so suppose we are getting white precipitate, 2 or 3 precipitate white. So that's why that test is done in first drop and drop and then in excess. So there is further distinguishment between them, to distinguish between them, if you get the precipitate of the same color. So this part you have to just cram it. And now I will take 1-2 example with the help of NaOH reagent. Let's see how we have to study. So we have alkali, we have taken as a NaOH, And same way we can continue with NH4OH also. So we take the salt solution, we take the alkali, then the precipitate is formed, that is the metal hydroxide, and by this color, by this color we identify that which metallic ion is basically present over it, in it. Now we have calcium nitrate. So please make a point here that I have written here colorless calcium nitrate. In some of the books it will be given white, and in your book also. So what is the basic difference? The basic difference is that when calcium nitrate, or wherever you find this difference, is somewhere it is written colorless and somewhere it is written white. So when it is in powdered form, it is white, and when it is made an aqueous solution, it becomes colorless. So that is the basic difference. You can have it in your mind as a concept. So we have colorless, then caustic soda, that is NaOH, and then we get white precipitate. So by this we identify that it may be, listen my words, it may be Ca plus 2, it may be lead plus 2, it may be zinc plus 2. Why? Because all will form the white precipitate. Now the next step test, then this we have added drop by drop, this NaOH. The next step test, which will be excess, when you will add in excess, means this we have formed, now this is to be added in excess completely. So what observation you find, that will help you to distinguish between the ions, that which ion actually it belongs to. Because if you are getting in three white precipitate, so the white precipitate we can get in zinc also, in lead also, in calcium also. So if we get white sparingly soluble, thoda bahut soluble, white sparingly soluble, so it will be calcium plus 2. If we get gelatinous white precipitate, so it will be zinc plus 2. If we get chalky white precipitate, it will be lead plus 2. So that's why we say it confirmatory test, and it is important, because if we get the same color, and now we are getting green color, so it's obvious that it will be Fe plus 2. If we get blue color, it is obvious that it is of copper C plus 2. So that way it goes. Now we have iron, green, colorless, and we get dirty green gelatinous precipitate. So gelatinous precipitate means it is Fe plus 2. Dirty green, insoluble. If you add in excess, it will be insoluble, not soluble. Then ferric, we get reddish brown precipitate. It is also insoluble, and the table continues and it goes on. So dear students, and that one important thing, when you get the same color, so that confirmatory test is important. So chalky white or gelatinous white or sparingly soluble white precipitate. So this you have to cram, that what I was saying, that this table is to be crammed and the color of the ions is to be crammed. Now we have ammonium hydroxide and action of NaOH or the reagent you say on the metals. So next turn tomorrow I will complete it, and I thought I was of the opinion that I will finish it today itself, but I will take one more lecture. I will it's given in the book, but I will just go through it, so it will be very helpful or easier for you to a mind will be there. Yes, sir has finished the course, so we should also finish the course. So dear student, that's all for today. So thank you very much.